Alright, this is Man Ruins His Life Over Chicken Wings by Penguins Zero, or also known as Moist Critical.
I've made quite a lot of content covering fast food freakouts where entitled stupid customers have an absolute meltdown and go on a rampage over trivial problems with their order. And they
Okay?
range from like goofy and silly to downright sad and tragic. Like the time a guy shot two Subway workers, killing one of them because they put too much mayonnaise on his sandwich.
Bro, people are so petty. I feel like this only happens in the US, where people get shot over the smallest shit, like too much mayonnaise.
This evil, smooth brain idiot actually took someone's life because they went a little heavy on a condiment.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Mayonnaise may not be an instrument, but it was a death sentence for this worker, unfortunately. It's beyond tragic, and what's even sadder is just how common these kind
Died
of
over
responses
mayonnaise.
are in the fast food industry. That is far from the only case of someone losing their life to something super stupid like too much mayonnaise. And I know I've talked about that story in particular
I'm
before
hungry.
and many others like it, and today I want to talk about another situation that happened a couple days ago, and this one has a whole video for it. And this video is shocking. Like, this is more shocking than the Into a Darman film. It had my eyes
What's a
wider
Darman
than the
film?
first time I gazed upon a bare breast. It has so much going on over something so little. So I'll quickly give you the lore here, the motivation behind what you're about to
Okay.
see, so you can watch this video in a pure state of bewilderment.
I would like to predict. The title is Man Ruins His Life Over Chicken Wings. So, what happens is someone orders chicken wings, but there is no sauce, like no dip, and he gets mad. I don't know the rest.
Bewilderment over the reaction to something so
That's all I got.
insignificant. A customer goes into a restaurant late a couple nights ago and he orders chicken and waffles as well as fish and coleslaw.
Okay,
He is
that's a lot.
served and even
That's a good
appreciates
meal.
the food. He eats it.
A man rammed a truck into a Maryland restaurant after attacking workers and thrashing the counter inside. Surveillance video shows. About 2:30 a.m. Tuesday, a customer at NY Chicken and Grill in Temple Hills ordered chicken tenders and waffles, fish, and coleslaw. He got his order, went to a table and started eating. Manager Muhammad Ali said, around 12:45 he came to me and he was like, "Oh, thank you, man. The food was good. Bye-bye," and he left, Ali said. But he went back 45 minutes later, that's a long time, saying he wanted chicken wings, not tenders. There were wings, but they were for another customer's order. We're 5 minutes before we close, Ali said. I really cannot replace like your order, but if you want, I can refund your money. He was like, okay. The manager asked for the credit card the customer used to pay for the order to give him a refund. He was like, no, I don't have it. Wait. He ordered chicken tenders. He specifically ordered chicken tenders, but he wanted chicken wings. So he fucked up with his order. And he's mad. What the fuck?
And then leaves. He comes back 45 minutes later and says he actually wanted chicken wings instead of chicken tenders, and demands that they whip him up a fresh batch of chicken wings in order to satiate his gluttony. Well, the store's 5 minutes to closing, and they say that's not really, on the table here. That's not really in the cards. We're about to close, so we can't do that. The person in charge of the restaurant even offers a refund, which is beyond generous. This guy's a fucking saint.
The
To
dude
even be
messed up his
offering a
order.
refund, even though he ate what he ordered and then came back to make
Yeah.
a big hullabaloo
45
over
minutes
nothing.
later.
So he offers the refund, and then just asks for the card that was used to pay for it, so that way he could, give
Bro,
the
some
money
people
back.
are so unreasonable.
However, he noticed that there was a bag with chicken wings in it, but it was another customer's order whom was going to be served those chicken wings.
Oh,
And
it's
this
for someone
fucking
else.
sets them off and leads to everything you're about to see in this video. I know the story I just told you is riveting. It's like a fucking Dr. Seuss book, and it actually
so
happened.
dumb
That
and
is the motivation from everything
petty.
I've read on the story behind this huge blow up here.
What the fuck? That dude's crazy.
Obviously, we're coming into the action after the first quarter here, so they're already in a bit of a scuffle. So we get to see him like lunging over the counter multiple times, grabbing like the payment processing unit, like fucking
He
ripping it
ordered
off,
the
and
wrong
then
thing
when he's unsuccessful there
and
and
got
falls off the
mad
counter, he runs to the
because he
door
didn't get the
and
thing he
rips it
wanted.
off the hinges. This man came in here with stupid strength, so he takes the door,
True.
rips it off the hinges almost effortlessly, as if he was like ripping a piece of paper. I imagine it had to just be all of the adrenaline because he's not that big of a guy. So
Yeah.
he probably tore like half of his muscles in his arms just pulling that off so easily.
He'd hurt
Or
the next
maybe this
day.
is just how he powers up, like Popeye with his spinach. This guy, when he doesn't get his chicken wings, he goes into like fucking Superman mode. He becomes like some kind of invincible fucking Hulk.
That dude's like,
Shit got real.
Now the restaurant worker is fighting back. He brings out like some kind of police baton, almost. I don't exactly know what it is, but he's got the stick out now, and he's ready to get a little crazy with it.
It doesn't
so he
make
chases
sense
him
to
out
me.
there and starts like whacking him with it like he's swatting a fly. The goofball customer also tries to use that door he ripped off as some kind of weapon, so he tries to like almost swing it like a baseball bat there for a second before realizing it was way too heavy for that, and also the guy hits him with the stick. And then they go to the ground, so we get into the ground and pound phase of the boss fight.
Oh, my style. He didn't know. Oh, he did not do that. Oh. Oh. Gosh.
The restaurant worker won
What did he
on
throw?
the ground game, I believe, and then even gets to claim his prize of the douchebag's phone, so he takes it and smashes it.
oh,
Much
he
to
smashed the
dismay
phone.
of the camera guy. He seemed like personally offended that this fucking asshole's phone got smashed. The way he acts makes it sound like he's stunned that such a dishonorable move was pulled during such an honorable fight. He's like, oh my goodness, now you've crossed a line. Everything up until this point was all good manners and by the book, textbook Knight's Honor Code, and then you go and smash his phone. A despicable display of sportsmanship. Like, what the fuck?
Wait,
The
that-
dude deserved to have his phone smashed.
Yeah,
bare
this is
minimum,
crazy.
at the very least. Like, that was absolutely par for the course. And that's not where this stops.
I will
There's
never
no audio
understand
here,
how
so
people
I'll just
act
go
like
ahead
that.
and tell you what you're looking at. It is the fucking guy crashing his company tow truck into the building and then scooting away. So he zooms on out of there, peels
How
out.
crazy
Now, of
is
course,
that?
I'm no expert here, but using the company car to commit a crime is probably a pretty fucking dumb idea. Not that he was making good decisions before then either, but that has to be one of the most identifiable things you could possibly be driving in order for people to track you down.
Yeah.
The fucking company tow
The
truck
easiest
of all
way.
things. And he blasts it into the side of the building here and then gets out. He gets the fuck out. What's crazy, though, is that he still hasn't been found. Despite
How?
the company tow truck being identified, the actual person, has still, as of right now of me recording this, hasn't been arrested for it or anything. How is that possible? There's
How is that
a
a
lot of
thing?
damage to the tow truck itself, and I don't think he owns the business, because if he did, I doubt he'd be using his fucking tow truck as a goddamn missile. Like, whoever owns that business should have probably noticed by now that, wow, this tow truck's pretty fucked
That doesn't
up.
make sense.
Well, what happened to it? And then, dots start getting connected, like, holy shit, my employee is that absolute menace that was just on the news for crashing a tow truck into the side of a restaurant.
It's your
Well, not even the
fucking
side,
tow
into the
truck that he
front
used.
door of a restaurant. Like, I don't know how we're at this stage where this guy is still getting away with it 2 days later.
The customer ripped the door off its hinges.
Grabbing the door,
It's even
trying
used.
to come inside the store with the door.
They tussled outside the restaurant before the angry customer ran, but it wasn't over yet.
He jumped in his tow truck, then he slashed the whole building with his truck.
We're living in a day and age where we can get multiple angles of pretty much anything that
doesn't make
happens out
sense
in
to
the world.
me.
So we get a deeper look at what
How
happens
is this a thing?
outside of the store here, as well as seeing the entire situation with the tow truck going right into the building. We've got, the Instagram angle from just boots on the ground guy who's there in person filming it on his phone. And then we have the security camera footage in order to give us the other side here, so we can catch every little detail.
Over
which
chicken
is
wings.
fantastic, very cinematic. And I think the coverage here is very important because it does point out exactly what I just said about the company tow truck, but it sheds more light on exactly how he's evading authorities right now, and it's very
There's a method.
surprising.
It appears there
How?
was a passenger in the truck at the time, and despite the heavy damage to the front end, the angry customer drove away. Now, the truck had a logo on it, a solid lead, right?
The towing truck companies, sometimes they lent their trucks to each other.
So, he says police told him that doesn't identify the driver.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't have the driver's
a
name on the
different-
side of the truck or anything. It's not like he had a flag that he was flying that said, "Here's who I am," or anything. But if you do a little, like, investigating, I feel like it should be easy, right? There'd
There's
be
also
a paper trail of
CCTV.
lending a fucking tow truck to another tow truck company or another person, right? There would
He's also been filmed. His face is out there.
absolutely be some kind of documentation on where this tow truck went if it was lent out. At least I would assume. Again, I'm not a fucking expert, but I can't imagine it's that difficult. That is one of the most fucking identifiable things he could have been driving. Like, it really can't be that hard to figure out where this tow truck came from, who lent it, and who did it get lent to. It should be a pretty easy trail to follow,
Yeah.
I would guess. But maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking about it too naively. That's
Maybe the
very
police
possible as well.
is just not
But
interested.
this is just such a fucking wild situation all over chicken wings. Well, and it's not like he didn't get served food either. Like it's not even that he's hangry.
He ate so
right?
much.
It's not even like it's not you when you're hungry type situation.
And then he came back
The
and
dude
asked
ate
for
a full meal: chicken tenders,
more.
waffles, fish, and coleslaw.
Because he
but
ordered
then
the wrong
wanted
thing.
wings instead. So he already had a full tummy. His belly was stuffed, but he just wanted some more. And they were like, "Hey, man, it's about to close.
He
How
got
about
hungry after
no?"
45 minutes,
And
bro.
that's what set all this shit off. Fucking wildness. And what's even wilder is not too long ago we had another situation where a woman crashed her car into a Popeyes because they were missing the biscuits from her order. So she threw her life away over some missing biscuits. There's no video footage of this one that exists. However, in my head, I picture it like Gears of War 3 when Dom crashes his vehicle into like the explosive shit that destroys some of the locusts. Like she just leans her head back like as she's about to crash into the restaurant, and she just thinks to herself, "This is worth it. The biscuits are worth it." As it all just fucking explodes.
How
in
are
front
people
of her here
these-
at the fucking
thi-
Popeyes,
this-
where she's
this
crashing
crazy?
her car into because of the biscuits being absent. Point is, fast food work is dangerous.
This is my point
All
of view
types
of America.
unhinged
This is my
lunatics
what
enter
I
these establishments and
see.
go berserk. And this is just another case of that happening, and this one just happened to have video footage around it, so I wanted to talk about it a bit. That's really about it. I'm wishing the best for the restaurant workers as well as
Yeah.
just the entire establishment. Hopefully it can get back to 100% soon, and whoever was responsible for it gets held accountable. That's about it. So yeah.
I feel like being a restaurant worker in the US is one of the most dangerous jobs in the country because of crazy people like this. Like what? I've also seen the video of the person fighting in a like the woman deflected a chair that's thrown at her. I forgot, was it White Castle or something? But yeah, I cannot believe people like this exist who are so incredibly petty. Like, doesn't make sense where they're mad. Doesn't make sense.